That was a song by Bill Wyman called White Lightning. Now we're going to talk to Robert Cliff, who is a gemologist, a jewellery valuer and a jeweller. We're not going to talk about white lightning, but we are going to be talking about white gold. A very good afternoon to you, Robert.
Good afternoon. How are you?
We're nice and dry here. I don't know where you are, but there's been some pretty hefty old showers about this afternoon, isn't there?
Well, I'm in Sydney, and it's a beautiful...
Ah, you're in Sydney. I'm sorry, I didn't realise you were across on the dry side of the island.
Yeah, no, it's dry where I am, not so much in the west.
Don't worry. We'll send it across to you in about 3 days. So,
thanks very much.
Well, we've got a long weekend here, you see. So Monday's the Queen's birthday, so it's a public holiday. So the weather's bound to be bad.
Of course. Isn't that always the way?
It is, isn't it? It is. Now, you're going to be talking about white gold this afternoon. And it did confuse me a little bit because I, in my total ignorance, thought white gold would have been sort of very, very, very light colour. Perhaps not white, I accept that. But what actually is it?
Well, it's actually amazing because I don't think really most people know what white gold is.
I don't.
It actually consists of 75% of pure yellow gold, and the other 25% is some alloy that changes that, really yellow, pure gold's that really yellowy, brassy colour, changes that colour to white. So, and in the alloy, the other part of the 25% of the alloy, it's palladium that usually that yellow to white, and it's white with a yellowy tinge.
How white can they get it? Can they increase the amount of the other metal so that it becomes, white, if you see what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. In that 25% of white alloy, there's the main what we call a washing agent. In 15% of it's usually palladium, and palladium is what turns it white. But the only problem with the more palladium, people say, well, why don't you just put 25% of palladium in? And the problem with palladium is it's expensive and it's soft. So the more palladium you put in, the softer the gold gets.
Now, I think it's true to say that in some other countries, the sort of that very bright yellowy gold is the preferred colour. I think, if I remember rightly, perhaps in India and perhaps in the Middle East, their gold, I can remember when I was in the Air Force in the Middle East, the gold there was very, very, very yellow.
Absolutely. That's because it's usually 22 or 24 carat. 24 is pure, of course, and very, very soft. You can actually bend, in a piece of jewellery, you can actually bend it with your fingers, 24 carat or pure gold.
So is that... Sorry, go on.
The Indians love the 22 carat gold because they love that really yellowy, brassy-looking colour, which we hate.
Right. So do we harden it because of the durability when we turn it into jewellery as well?
Yes, it's the wearability. It's the 18 karat gold, which we prefer here in Italy or Australia, is a really nice yellow colour, but yet still hard and still very durable and wearable, and a nice colour. A nice yellow. Yeah. So is it this other chemical they put in that gives it the actual lustre, the shine? Well, in the lustre and the shine is it's a good question, to be honest with you. I mean, the lustre and the shine just comes from the fact that it's gold, and gold, all that glitters is gold, and all that other 25% is doing is changing the colour or hardening it. So you say that we add this in. Does it actually change colour as it gets older? Does it actually... I mean, a lot of materials bleach in the sun and the hard UV that we get here. Does gold itself change with age? Look, it can tarnish slightly because it's got that alloy in it. And in yellow gold, it has copper, silver and zinc. And, of course, as you know, copper tarnishes fairly quickly. So... 18 karat or 9 karat gold or 14 karat gold can tarnish, but it only takes a small amount of buffing and it comes up like new. Right. So if people are looking... Gold doesn't usually change colour except for the fact that we enhance the colour by what we call rhodium, plating it with another very rare metal to enhance that colour, and when that comes off, it can dull off.
That's white gold.
Yes. Yeah. So if people are looking to buy some white gold for jewellery, what sort of is the best sort of carat of white gold to use? What do you prefer?
Personally, I think 18 carat white gold. If you're making rings, I think that's a good product to use because it's 3/4 pure. It is 3/4 pure gold. It's got a very nice white appearance, and it's very durable. And it's also it's denser than 9 carats or any other carat because it's heavier. So when you pick it up, it feels like it's substantial.
Yes, that's right. Never mind the width, just feel the weight, sort of thing. Yeah. What do we ever mix another very valuable metal into the gold? Do we ever mix silver in with gold?
Yes, particularly with yellow gold. We do add silver into yellow gold. We don't add much in. We do add a little bit of the white gold too, but not much. And so silver is one part of the alloying of white gold. It's interesting. There are a few different types of white gold. There's hard white gold and there's soft white gold for setting gemstones in, and that is determined by that 25% of alloy and what's in that. The more nickel in it, if we use nickel, it's hard. If we use palladium, it's soft.
Now, as a jewellery valuer, how do you tell what the mix is? Because I would imagine, knowing nothing at all about it, I would imagine depending on the mix, depends on the value of the actual item.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
We don't know. When we value something, we test. We what we call acid test it. So we acid test. We rub a little tiny piece of that gold onto a stone and we acid test it.
Yep.
And we only know whether it's 18 or 9 carat or 14 carat, but we don't know what alloy is in it.
Oh, I see.
We don't have a clue. We just test it to see what carat it is.
So to close, then, you say on a not so serious note, there was this a white gold toy. What was this about that this billionaire had?
Oh well, that's a really interesting story because if you can look this up on the internet, of course, but. Of all places, and I think it was Saudi Arabia, they made an 18 carat white gold Mercedes Benz.
What?
With a price tag, of approximately $50 million.
Gee.
So you have to have a bit of money to do that.
You do, and you don't take it out the rain.
And if you look on, if your audience Google that, you'll actually see that car. Magnificent.
Oh, that's just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, isn't
it? Yeah. So that's the sort of toy that every billionaire should have. Yeah.
Oh, every billionaire needs an 18 carat white gold Mercedes.
Robert, thank you very much indeed for bringing a bit of humour to this rather damp day in Western Australia.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Talk to you.
Okay. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that was Robert Cliff, of course, who is a gemologist and also a jewellery valuer and jeweller himself. 33.